What's going on, guys? Seth and Chevy here. We just watched episode 7 of season 1 of Kaiju number 8. We'll be going full spoilers ahead, so hopefully you'll watch this episode, and we'll do a real quick recap. This was a pretty straightforward episode, full of a lot of action and crazy stuff happening, with kind of continuing on from the last episode while everyone's cleaning up the remaining, are they Yojus?
Yes.
I think so. Yojus. Smaller kaijus running around. Tachikawa and Iharu have found the humanoid kaiju that I think the episode was referring to when it said Kaiju number 9. So we'll just refer to him as that from now on. And if that's incorrect, we'll find out in the next episode. But yeah, they end up finding it. It reveals itself to be the kaiju that they saw during the exam. And yeah, they end up getting shot by it because it's pretty quick to just fire at them. I think it said it wanted to take one of them. So it has a plan, but doesn't need both of them. They end up combating it, but then Iharu is told to run and get help. He goes to run, but then we get a kind of a background sequence of him saying basically that he's not necessarily mad at Tachikawa, or Reino, as he calls him. I think that's his actual first name. But that he doesn't like feeling like he has to be saved, basically. He felt that way when he first joined, or when he got inspired to join, and he's feeling it now. So he comes back, and while Tachikawa is fighting this dude, he's about to do a big crazy move to finish him off. Hikaru tackles him out of the way. They talk about it for a brief second on, he's there to help. He's not going to just give up. He's going to back him up. They find out that basically this kaiju has a domain expansion happening around this area because they can't leave unless he lets them. There's this big dome in this area. And yeah, while this is all going on, Kafka and Kikaru, I think her name is, something close to that. Basically, they're trying to figure out where everybody's at. They lost communications with these two and their vital signs, all that stuff, and they suspect that kaiju has showed up again. So we get a sequence later that explains it, but basically Kafka is going to turn into his kaiju form and feel where the other kaiju's at, because he can do that when he's in that form. And yeah, when things get really bad and Tachikawa's getting shot up in basically non-vital spots, just neutralized, and Iharu's about to get killed, Kafka shows up and punches the other kaiju's head off, basically. Takes Tachikawa to safety, but ends up having to fight the other kaiju. And yeah, he tries some bigger tricks that he wasn't willing to do on the other two, but Kafka just ends up decking him out and launching him many blocks away.
Many blocks away, yeah.
Yeah. In a really well animated sequence that was awesome to watch. He follows him, and the dude's core is exposed. He's getting ready to finish him off. The whole time too, the other kaiju is kind of like, we're getting the sense that he's basically learning every trick people have. Like, you do it once, that was your only opportunity. He figures it out. He's going to counteract it the next time. He's doing the same thing with Kafka, even though he's constantly being surprised by Kafka. And so are we. There's a part where Kafka made a shield by yelling, and had weird stabilizers on his feet to launch the dude.
It was very Godzilla-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's about to do that, and then some people from the what is it called? The Defense
Force.
Defense Force.
Yeah.
See Kafka, not knowing who he is, obviously. Sees a humanoid kaiju. They call it in, and then Hoshino,
Vice Captain.
I'm getting the names eventually. Vice Captain, gets excited and says he's going to send in a neutralization group to take out the humanoid kaiju that he's been interested in figuring out more on. And yeah, the other kaiju, the weird mushroom guy, he he says he's figured out Kafka now, and while he's distracted with the other dudes, and that next time he sees him, he'll kill him. And he just kind of disappears with the wind. Before he does it, though, he shoots at the other two defense dudes. Kafka jumps in front of them to block the rounds, as he would. And then, yeah, he punches the ground and jumps really far away to make an escape before he takes fire from the people that he works with and lands in an alleyway where he runs into, I think his name's Hoshino, who basically shows off what he said before. He's really good at fighting medium to small individual kaijus, and he attacks him in another really crazy animated sequence where he's jumping off the walls of an alleyway, swinging at him while Kafka's bouncing around trying not to get hit. And yeah, we leave the episode with him in pursuit of Kafka, unleashing his ability to 92%, which is very high, and he has predator eyes ready to kill Kaiju, and Kafka's not too stoked about seeing that side of him, basically. So yeah, that's that in a basic nutshell. What do we think?
Overall, it was a fun episode. I think we definitely needed this. The whole show is called Kaiju number 8, and we barely see Kaiju number 8. So
Yeah.
But I mean, it made sense. We're building up to obviously moments that made sense for him to be that.
And more people are seeing him because Iharu saw him.
Yeah, as a kaiju at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's still being spotted by more and more of the people who are already on the show. So
right. I also, at this point now, 3 other people, including the 2 who showed up, saw him not attacking people.
Yep.
So hopefully they recognize that as well. But yeah, just the whole sequence basically with him kind of toying with the 2 while they're being pushed to their limits, which is good for them, obviously, because they kind of take a moment to like go back to where they're being initially trained and being told that most people make it to about 20-30%, and they kind of hit a wall, and that everyone's capable of going past it, but a lot of people give up there. And we're kind of at a point where these 2 are kind of at that wall right now, and they're put in a situation where they have to like push themselves. So it was a nice little mention, basically, at like a power increase, and it means to do it without just being like, here's my scanner, here's their power level, So.
Yeah, 100%. We saw Tachikawa time his shots and dodge them, which was a big thing, because obviously these are piercing through his body, so he's going to have to be able to do that. But then even once Iharu was able to dodge around as well, so they're both progressing in this moment.
Yeah, they're basically in a situation of you have to or you're dead. So, which sometimes what you need to be better. So, and then when Kafka showed up, that whole sequence was just awesome, because that's basically what we want to see. We want to see him just being a badass, and he definitely was. I especially like, though, that the 9th kaiju is so like analytical, because like he doesn't really care that he's taking damage. He doesn't really care about anything other than like he's confused on what's happening, and he's trying to like process it.
Yeah, he seems like a robot to me.
Yeah.
That's just siphoning information.
In a weird sort of way, it kind of reminds me of a lot of people. Not to say too much, obviously, I want you to watch the show, but it reminds me of a lot of people in Freerun, because they're all very analytical in that show too. But it's funny because like he's getting his ass kicked. He's not like in pain or nothing. His teeth are buckling in, and he's just like, okay, can I regenerate fast enough? Oh no, I'm taking too much damage too fast.
Well, that's why he reminds me of a robot.
Yeah,
he's obviously not, but he reminds me of one because he's not really feeling pain, or at least he's not acknowledging pain. Yeah. He's just basically talking about the damage he's taking, like he's a spaceship or something, like the hull's been damaged or something.
And he's just constantly like experimenting. Like, he wants to take a person. He like implanted the reproductive system in the Yojus, or whatever they're called. He's just always like tinkering around too. So he's definitely an interesting villain.
There's definitely something we're missing, a big thing, because first off, he's acting like everything's brand new. Mm-hmm. So it's like he just showed up. Something made him, or he came from somewhere.
That's what it feels like, for sure.
But he also has a mission, because he's like trying to gather something to get to somewhere. I don't know what his end goal would be, but he's trying to, figure things out and experiment on stuff. But then also, he doesn't understand why Kafka exists, because he's like, you're a kaiju. I don't know why you're attacking.
It is interesting that he doesn't recognize that.
He doesn't know what's up with him.
That he's a human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, you're acting like a human, not like a kaiju. But you're a kaiju. So he doesn't even know what's going on with Kafka. So he's not really connected with whatever the hell that thing was that flew into his mouth.
Yeah.
So it's really weird.
Even though I feel like tinfoil hat time, they probably are connected. There's probably someone made both of them, right?
Yeah, I'm just saying I don't think he's responsible for Kafka.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, yeah. I don't think that either.
Yeah, I don't think he's connected to him in a way that, like, he was a part of. I think somebody made both of them.
Yeah, there's definitely a bigger mastermind somewhere, which is cool. I'm here for it, especially if they like slowly feed it to us. It keeps the show interesting. I am hoping that we slowly get to a point where his form is accepted and not a hiding thing. I think we're kind of getting to that right now with him being kind of forced to defend himself against the vice captain now. But
I feel like it's getting kind of express laned, because it's only episode 7 and 2 people know for sure he can do that. Now more and more people have seen him. The vice captain already suspects something weird of him and is now like face to face with him. So I don't know if we're going to keep doing after this fight's over, go, there's something weird about him. Right. And just keep going.
Well, they might.
I hope in some way it's just revealed, just getting knocked out, because the only person who even recognizes Kafka is even powerful is Tachikawa. He still calls him senpai. Obviously, it's because of the job they had together. But like, he still also knows that when he turns into this kaiju form, he's more powerful than he is. So it's a really weird dynamic, because when he's kaiju, or not kaiju, Kafka is in his human form, his normal being, he's kind of a joke. He's trying, but he's not that great. But yeah, it's a really interesting dynamic. I hope it's not going to be like that forever, though, because I don't know if I will enjoy the
cat and mouse game constantly.
Taking his glasses off and pulling his shirt open to be Superman every time something really crazy pops off, because it's as though, even though that is fun, it's been done to death. So hopefully there's something a little more creative we're going to do with this. But yeah, it's fun still.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it, though. It was a pretty simple episode, which is fine. Sometimes you just need a simple episode. So.
Well, luckily the show's got good animation and fun action sequences and a cool world that you want to see action from. So I do like when they just do an action episode. And the show doesn't seem like it has super deep lore yet. So
I do think they do a good job too, making like lighting effects on like the kaijus and stuff like that being super cool looking. So
yeah, even that punch that Kafka did, where he kind of like down swung, but then there's a beam that went through him, or whatever. That was really cool looking. There's definitely a lot of animation that really supports the idea of like power, things hitting hard, that I really dig. So, but yeah, the episode was good. I liked it. I didn't get much from it, like mentally, but we did discuss though a little bit about the other guy and his purpose and his connection with Kafka and stuff. So there's something to chew on a bit there. But for the most part, this was like an underdog ambition story in the first part with Tachikawa and Iharu. Both of them were like not the guys who should be fighting this dude,
definitely
and they definitely couldn't have kept fighting him. But we got a sequence of them pushing themselves a little further, so that's fun, because these are characters we want to see grow. We don't want to see either of them die. So we had the stakes there in the beginning, but then we got what we really are here for, which is Kafka punching the fuck out of the dude. That was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed that, even though I expected it, even though I did expect him to just deck him out really hard, punch his head off his body while both pieces are flying in the air, and he saw his own torso. He's like, why am I seeing my body?
Right.
That was fun, expected, but you want it. You don't like the dude, we got what we wanted there. The big thing I'm really interested, though, is the end of the episode with the alleyway, because first off, we're getting the reveal of the vice captain, being a badass, basically. We've seen it kind of twice now. But also that he's in pursuit of Kafka. Where's this going to go? How's this going to go? That's the big thing I'm interested in. The other dude, he's going to go away. He's going to come back later. We got that. That was a lot of fun. But the inner dynamics of the people he talks to daily, that's the part I'm mostly interested in. So definitely enjoyed this episode. Definitely looking forward to the next episode. Really curious where that goes, because like we talked about earlier, a lot of people are getting eyes on interaction with Kaiju number 8, and I'm really curious to see how that goes about. Because I mean, if they could just get him to demask himself basically and go, hey, it's me, I'm Kafka, I've been punching the fuck out of that kaiju, I'm sure somebody would be reasonable enough to go like, well, we can definitely use this, even though a couple episodes ago they said they would just want to experiment on it.
Yeah, they put him in a lab.
I'm sure higher ups would maybe want to do that, but I'm sure the people who know him at this point would want to utilize that, so, and try to figure out why he's like that. So we'll see. We'll figure it out when we get there, but yeah, really curious to see where it goes. But yeah, anything else?
Nope.
Let us know in the comments what you guys think of this episode. What were your biggest takeaways, biggest highlights? What was your favorite part? And yeah, is there something that happened in the episode we can talk about that you want to talk about? Let us know in the comments below. And please no spoilers. We have not read the manga, and want to continue watching the show blindly. So thank you for appreciating that. I'm Seth. This has been Chevy. Until the next episode, which will be Demon Slayer and more Kaiju number 8 and more Delicious in Dungeon. We'll talk to you guys later.